Station New London, attention! At close intervals, dress left, dress! Ready, front! Cover! Station New London, present and accounted for.
Very well, Chief. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I would ask that all cell phones be silenced for the duration of the ceremony. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Coast Guard Station New London's Change of Command. The Change of Command ceremony is a time-honored tradition which formally restates to the command's personnel the continuation of authority. It is a formal ritual conducted before the assembled company of the command. The ceremony represents more than just the relief of one commanding officer to another. It is a transfer of total responsibility, authority, and accountability for the unit, and the accomplishment of its assigned missions. Today, Lieutenant Daniel Tavernier will be relieved as Commanding Officer of Coast Guard Station New London by Lieutenant Nina McDonald. All military personnel should remain covered for the duration of the ceremony and follow my lead for hand salutes. At this time, I would like to recognize some of the special guests we have with us today. First, Lieutenant Tavernier's father, Mr. John Tavernier. Also, we are honored to have in attendance the Mayor of New London, Connecticut, Mayor Michael Passero. Dennis Evans, Captain, U.S. Coast Guard. Greg Weisner, Captain, U.S. Coast Guard. Scott Graham, Captain, U.S. Coast Guard, retired. Wes Pulver, Captain, U.S. Coast Guard, retired. Paul Whitescarver, Captain, U.S. Navy, and Ryan Healy, Captain, Connecticut State Police, and Mr. Bob Ross, Connecticut Military Affairs Director. Stations Company, attention. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem and the invocation. Now, Lieutenant, United States Coast Guard arriving. Stand by one. Apologize.
Station New London, parade, rest. Station New London, attention!
Now, Lieutenant, United States Coast Guard arriving. Now, Station New London arriving. Now, Sector Long Island Sound arriving. Hand salute. Ready, two. Ladies and gentlemen, remain standing for the presentation of colors and the national anthem.
Left, 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 right, left, 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 right, ready, halt, fire, retreat, halt. Left, face, forward, march, left, 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 straight, left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left, ready, halt, left, face, present, colors, 1, 2, 3, 4. Carry, colors,
Ready?
1,
2,
2, 3, 4. Center, base, forward, march, left, 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 right, left, 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 right, left, 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 right. Ready, halt, color guard, post the colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hand, salute. Ready, 2, left, base. Mark time, march, left, left, right. Forward, march, left, left,
I am pleased to introduce Natalie Zenny, our ombudsman here at Station New London, who will offer the invocation.
Today, I ask you all to stand in silence, to remember and acknowledge with the most sincere pride and gratitude the service and sacrifice of our brothers and sisters, sons and daughters, mothers and fathers, friends and fellow Americans who we do not know, working and fighting today and in all the generations past. For those here who have given service and continue to do so each day, we stand to offer thanks. You are the courageous shield of our nation, and the sword lifted in wisdom, which sustains the human joy of American freedom. At each instance we are able, much like today, when we celebrate a military tradition and turn to the flag, we must remember we raise it on all days to represent the very best of humanity, that it flies only because of the courage and dedication of brave Americans. It is our constant and proud duty to remember and give great consideration to these values today, tomorrow, and throughout our lives. Without a dedication to duty, there can be no freedom. It is our duty, a noble duty, to pass this knowledge, this highest and most wonderful of human values, to all future generations, to tell those that come after us about the great American journey and the best in the American people that we recognize today, embodied in the tradition of service that means we will always and assuredly be free, and an example for all the people of the world.
Thank you, Mrs. Denny. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Stations Company, parade rep. The personnel inspection by the present and future commanding officer is a traditional element of a change of command ceremony. The process of relieving command is a complex and comprehensive one. The responsibility and accountability of all elements of a command include assigned personnel. The honor of trooping the line carries with it the added dimension of assuring proper appearance and military bearing of the unit's personnel prior to the transfer of command. Lieutenant Tavernier and Lieutenant McDonald will now inspect the crew.
Station New London, attention!
Well, Station New London, President accounted for, standing by for inspection.
Stations Company, parade rep. And now, it is my distinct honor to introduce today's presiding official, Captain Ed Kabansky III, Commander, Sector Long Island Sound. Captain Kabansky assumed the duties as Sector Commander, Long Island Sound in June 2013, after having served as the 8th Coast Guard District Response Division Chief and the Incident Management Branch Chief. Other recent assignments include Commanding Officer at Air Station New Orleans, Executive Officer of Air Station Atlantic City, Operations Officer at Helicopter Interdiction Tactical Squadron, Jacksonville, Florida, and Airborne Use of Force Manager at Coast Guard Headquarters in Washington, D.C. He also served as Senior Aviator at the Polar Operations Division, deploying to Antarctica and the Arctic, HH-65 Aircraft Commander at Air Station Miami, and Naval Flight Training in Pensacola, Florida, where he was awarded his Wings of Gold in October of 1992. He also served as the Assistant Engineering Officer aboard Coast Guard Cutter Hamilton. A native of Norwich, Connecticut, Captain Kabansky graduated from the United States Coast Guard Academy in 1988 with a Bachelor of Science degree in electrical engineering. In 2004, he was awarded a master's degree in aviation business administration from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. He has logged over 3,000 flight hours as a Coast Guard aviator and is also an Eagle Scout with 6 palms. His military awards include 5 Meritorious Service Medals, 3 Coast Guard Achievement Medals, Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal, and several other personnel and unit awards. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain Kabansky.
Thanks a lot, Chief. The longer you're in, the bio gets longer, so you keep trying to trim it, but Chief did a great job. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, members of the Coast Guard Active Duty Reserve Forces, Coast Guard Auxiliary, welcome. I want to offer a special welcome as well to Jen. I know you sad to be leaving to London here, and Chloe and Gage. And John, great to see you here. It's a special day for a dad. And can't wait to have you help us later on promote Dan, or Lieutenant Dan, to Lieutenant Commander. And obviously Sue and Dave as well. Jesse, you gonna have fun here?
Yes, sir.
And where's Peyton at?
She's sick.
Oh, she's sick? All right. And then obviously it was great to see Nina's family come here today. And then obviously the leaders of the New London community. Look at everyone in the back. Dan, you didn't plan on enough seats here, huh? It's all right. We'll promote you out of a job. And obviously looking in the audience too, all the military folks. Great to see Paul here, and Dennis and Greg. From the Coast Guard here, Bob Ross and Mike. Did Mike make it? Sorrow? No? Don't see him. And don't see LJ out there. But Susan Luck. Oh, there you go. There you go. Right behind Nina's family. So, what are we facing here in New London? You know, wherever we are, whether it's Connecticut, the United States, or heck, the world, look at what's going on in Europe. We're going to have tough budget climates through and through. But the one thing that the New London community can rely upon is the reliability of the Coast Guard. Right? Maximum de minimis, we're here for all hazards, all threats, all the time. And the success that Station New London has had over the last 3 years under Dan and many years in the past is due to the great Marine group here in the London community. You see many of the folks standing in back that have provided great guidance and wisdom to these young lieutenants taking over the helm. And I know Jeff's back there, and he said, you know, Dan, if you just follow what I say, you know, everything's going to be all right. So thanks for being out here to offer Nina the same advice. But after having seen an office renovation, I think due to Jesse's recommendation, she's not going to need a lot of our advice up there. She's already made some improvements to the base. So Dan, we got to get this moving so we can get her in command sooner rather than later. So what is the change of command? It's a time-honored ceremony, ritual tradition, in naval history, not Navy, but naval history, to observe the instantaneous transfer of authority and responsibility for Station New London from, in this case, Lieutenant Tavernier to Lieutenant McDonald. As tradition has it, we have assembled the crew, the incumbent prospective officer in charge, they'll read their orders, and everyone will observe this instantaneous transfer of passing of command. Having been through one of these several times, I know this is an emotional time for these 2 fine members in their crew. For one, you have the outgoing commanding officer and family who's probably feeling a little bit melancholy after spending 3 years calling this place home and the crew part of their family. But after all, they are going to Newport, Rhode Island, so it's not too far away. And on the other hand, you have the incoming commanding officer who is excited and maybe a lot anxious and nervous. And regardless of who's in command, the majority of the crew remains, so they are feeling those ambitions as well. However, this crew has done a phenomenal job in the past, and I know they will continue to do so in the future. And Dan, he doesn't like accolades. And just to show you how great this crew is, we had a rescue the other night. a young lady decided to go out swimming just a little bit way down the road here, and at 9 o'clock at night, and the crew did a great job in finding her. The sector didn't get them to search pattern yet, so they used their gut instincts, and they did patrol of checking buoys, and then the great iconic structure out there, they found the young lady clinging to the base of it. So before we continue on, I'd like to have Pedersen Chapman come forward, Pedersen Dennis, Pedersen Alfred, Pedersen Rosiel, and Pedersen Teller. You can step up, come forward, please. Dan, if you could join me at the front here, and let's coin these great individuals. I know Tony was here, and we went down to the incident command post there, and we saw them. But I'd like to coin each of you on a job well done. So Pedersen Chapman was the one who directed it. He goes, I got a gut feeling on this one, and your gut feeling saved someone's life. So excuse me here. That kind of sets the stage about what type of crew you're getting here. That trained initiative and leadership that we just love to see in all of our future leaders. So Pedersen Chapman, great job in directing that crew, and did a great crew in traveling about 2 to 3 knots to hear out her call for help. If you're traveling along at 10 to 15, you may not have heard that, but just a well-seasoned crew that's been trained by the great leadership provided by Dan and the chiefs here at the unit. So we have quite the backdrop. We have the great sub-base across the river. We got the boats and cutters here from the sector, and then just the great New London shore this side, and then looking over we see the city of Groton and the town of Groton as well. What a great backdrop. I love the low humidity for these type of events. So where are we at? We're at a Coast Guard station, and they are the backbone of our great service. Despite only accounting for 13% of the workforce, our boat forces account for 80% of the lives saved annually, and 77% of all law enforcement sightings and boardings. The Coast Guard's 192 boat stations provide more than an exceptional value to the American public, a fact that can't be overstated considering the budget climate that we're continuously in. The stations, like New London, integrate into the community and become one big family, as you can see by the great turnout today. And they protect those on the sea, they protect the sea itself, and they protect us from threats delivered by the sea. As many of us know, Dan is an avid golfer. And from what I hear, the only number that Dan seems to know is the number 4. And I'm not sure whether that's the score on a par 3 that he routinely gets, or a word of warning that he yells out when he hits his tee shot. But I think we'll never know, really, except the crew. But the one fact we know is whenever they go golfing with Dan, they wear their boarding crew helmets. So it may be the latter versus the former. And also, Dan, I'm not sure if you knew this, or if anyone else in the crowd knew this, but Dan is a tough guy. He's such a tough guy, he participated in a tough man competition prior to the Coast Guard. And his nickname was Dancing Dan. And I wish we knew that factoid before we came to today, because I think we could have had a lot of fun with that at the different events. So Dan, we'll just stop the stories there. There's a couple other ones down here, but Dancing Dan, I think we're going to have karaoke set up for afterwards, so we'll have that, and Dan can show some of his moves. But anyway, Dan's, kidding aside, as a leader, you have to be able to have a little bit of a self-deprecating humor, and Dan does that through and through, but he also has passion. And as a leader with passion, I will take that any day of the week, because he has a sincere care for his crew, and crew comes before self. And Dan, you've done a marvelous job with that. You've had truly shown your ability to handle a range of situations throughout this tour, and that same operational acumen translated into the pride that you had as we recognized the crew earlier today, so well done. These hard-working men and women invest countless hours every week accomplishing the 11 Coast Guard missions here, striving to balance the responsibilities of family, friends, and other commitments that take away from the service. So you're going to be going to a little bit less operationally intense environment here, so Jen, you should have a little bit more time at home if you want. If not, tell them to go somewhere and do something, and just keep peace and harmony at home. Shortly after assuming command of Sector Long Island Sound, I shared my command philosophy, which is to train, execute mission, assess mission performance, and then mentor. And Dan, you have definitely mentored. My inclination is that you didn't do this just because the captain told you to do so, because it was the right way to lead your crew. And again, I've come to know you as a tireless teacher and passionate, and my sometimes hour visits to the office led to 2-hour conversations, and I appreciate your mentoring up the chain of command as well. So thanks for all your help making me a better person and leader. Dan, your outstanding commitment to the people and community is earning the respect and loyalty and admiration of those folks here today. So if you please join me at the podium so I can more formally recognize your accomplishments. Stations, company, attention.
Citation to accompany the award of the Coast Guard Commendation Medal, Gold Star in lieu of 4th, to Lieutenant Daniel L. Tavernier, United States Coast Guard. Lieutenant Tavernier is cited for outstanding achievement while serving as the commanding officer of Station New London, Connecticut from June 2013 to June 2016. He oversaw the safe execution of 5,560 underway hours, conducting 1,200 law enforcement boardings, 190 search and rescue cases, and 820 ports, waterways, and coastal security patrols on our highly trafficked waterways of Long Island Sound. Demonstrating exceptional leadership skills with extraordinary proficiency in PWCS, he expertly led the first Coast Guard transition of the high-value unit submarine escort mission to the U.S. Navy. He spearheaded the training of dozens of Navy personnel in the execution of highly technical boat tactics, techniques, and procedures. His strong leadership and interagency partnerships with the U.S. Secret Service, the state of Connecticut, and local law enforcement agencies were further leveraged to maximize maritime safety posture during 4 security and boating safety surge operations, 3 Coast Guard Academy commencement ceremonies, and 3 SailFest celebrations, which provided protection for over 300,000 spectators, official participants, and VIPs, notably including the President of the United States and the Secretary of Homeland Security. Lieutenant Tavernier's dedication, judgment, and devotion to duty are most heartily commended and are keeping with the highest traditions of the United States Coast Guard. The Operation Distinguishing Device is authorized.
Dan, you have many reasons to be proud of the achievements made by the men and women of Station New London. I commend you for a job well done and wish you the best as you move on your great service to the nation in the United States Coast Guard to Newport, Rhode Island. Jen, I'm going to miss you too. And take care of this guy and keep him grounded, all right?
Absolutely.
Your support and encouragement to Dan has allowed him to be successful here, and they always say the toughest job in the country is being a military member, and I would argue with that, saying it's being a spouse of a military member, and because you're uprooted from family, friends, and career, and all in service to nation. So thank you for a job well done supporting him. To the Coast Guard men and women of Station New London, your new commanding officer will bring her own brand of leadership, experience, and knowledge. Her success will be directly tied to your hard work and dedication. As you well know, each and every one of you impacts mission and accomplishment. And I challenge you to offer the continued superb service to Lieutenant McDonald on her watch as CO. Nina, congratulations and welcome to Sector Long Island Sound. This is one of those special days you've been preparing for ever since you joined the Air Force and then made the right decision to come over to the Coast Guard. This job will be challenging, but also rewarding. You have a strong foundation of leadership and operational expertise. I really love the going away plaque that you got from your last unit. It's when someone makes something custom made for someone, that shows that they cared about the individual, and that's probably one of the best ones I've ever seen. So thank you for being such a great person and coming to lead this great station. Your family, Jesse, and obviously Peyton's not here, so we already saw her once though, but we'll see her again. Have fun, Jesse. Take care of her and bounce things off one another. You both are two special people in the Coast Guard, and I wish you the best. I also want to thank Nita's family for being here today. It's lots of smiles in the audience, and make sure you visit a lot. We have a little party here, Sail Fest. Come on down. Great fireworks and great food and fun. So please visit often. So Nita, I want to pass along just a little bit of advice. In the days ahead, you know this. Get to know your crew. That's the easy part of it. They're professionals. Delegate when needed. Micromanage. It's not micromanaging though. It's called follow-up control. Your crew realize they don't need a lot of follow-up control. So, but get to know your folks about their strengths and weaknesses, and mentor them so that weakness is a strength. I know you can do that. Ensure their safety. Train and equip them properly, and let me know where you need resources. Use the Coast Guard core values as your North Star, and you won't be steered astray. And I know you're nervous, so take a few moments once in a while to savor the experience. Command is truly remarkable. It really, really is. And I'm sure this won't be your last command, so enjoy it. They say station command is the best, and Dan, I'm glad the DCs were fixed the claw marks going out the door there as he was removing his things, so you can see what a special place it is. So I'm sure this is a reward that you're going to treasure for a long time. So I wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much, and Semper Paratus.